The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead as I sat across from my sister Serena in the conference room, staring at the stack of documents that would destroy my life. My hands trembled as I flipped through page after page of fabricated transactions, each one meticulously crafted to make me look like a criminal. "I don't understand," I whispered, my voice cracking. "These aren't my signatures. I never authorized these transfers. My name is Lexi, and until yesterday, I was a rising star at Goldman Sachs. Now, I'm watching my entire world crumble around me." Serena's face remained impassive, her designer blazer perfectly pressed, not a hair out of place. "The evidence speaks for itself, sis. $20 million siphoned through offshore accounts over the past 18 months, all traced back to you." "This is insane. You know I would never—" The words caught in my throat as two FBI agents entered the room, followed by our mother, her eyes red and swollen. "Mom, please," I pleaded. "You know me. I've always taken care of everyone. Why would I do this?" She wouldn't meet my eyes. Instead, she clutched her purse closer, as if I might try to steal that too. The next few weeks passed in a blur of courtrooms, lawyers, and crushing disappointment. Despite my desperate attempts to prove my innocence, the evidence was overwhelming. Serena had done her homework well. Every transaction, every document, every digital footprint pointed to me. The judge's gavel came down like a death sentence. 5 years in federal prison. I caught a glimpse of Serena in the courtroom, her face a perfect mask of sisterly concern. But for a split second, our eyes met, and I saw it. That flicker of satisfaction, of victory. That's when I knew. This wasn't just about money. This was revenge. 3 months later, I stood in the prison yard of FCI Danbury, my orange jumpsuit still stiff and new. The weight of my ID badge felt foreign against my chest, a constant reminder of how far I'd fallen. "Fresh meat, huh?" A voice behind me made me jump. I turned to face a tall woman with salt and pepper hair and arms covered in tattoos. "I'm Angela, and you look like you don't belong here." I laughed bitterly. "That's what I keep telling everyone." "Let me guess. White-collar crime? Embezzlement?" Angela's eyes were sharp, assessing. "Wrongly accused," I corrected her. "Aren't we all?" She smirked, but there was something knowing in her expression. "Your case made the papers. Valdez sisters, right? The banker who stole from her family's business?" I flinched at the reminder. "I didn't steal anything. My sister—" "Set you up?" Angela finished. "Yeah, I figured. Your sister's got quite a reputation in certain circles. She's not as clever as she thinks she is." My head snapped up. "What do you mean?" Angela glanced around the yard before lowering her voice. "Let's just say, before I ended up here, I worked in forensic accounting. Your sister's been playing a much bigger game than just framing you. But she made mistakes. They always do." For the first time since my arrest, I felt a spark of hope. "What kind of mistakes?" "Not here," Angela said, nodding toward the guards. "But if you're interested in learning more, meet me in the library tomorrow. I've got some things you might want to see." That night, lying on my thin prison mattress, I stared at the ceiling, thinking about Serena, my perfect, precious older sister, who'd always resented living in my shadow. While she struggled to keep jobs and relationships, I'd excelled in my career, supported our family, earned our parents' pride. Now she'd taken everything from me: my freedom, my reputation, my future. My cellmate's snores filled the darkness as I made a decision. If Serena thought prison would break me, she was wrong. I'd use this time to learn, to plan, to understand exactly how she destroyed my life. And then, I'd return the favor. The next morning, I watched the sunrise through barred windows, my mind clearer than it had been in months. Angela was right. Serena wasn't as clever as she thought. She'd made mistakes, left traces, and with nothing but time on my hands, I would find them all. As I walked to breakfast, another inmate called out, "Hey, banker girl, heard your sister's been making waves on Wall Street. Big merger announcement yesterday." My steps faltered. Of course. While I rotted in prison, Serena would be climbing the corporate ladder, probably using the same dirty tricks that had put me here. You okay? Angela appeared beside me, her presence somehow reassuring. I will be, I said, straightening my shoulders. Once I learn everything you know about my sister's mistakes. Angela's smile was wolf-like. Trust me, kid. By the time we're done, your sister won't know what hit her. For the first time since my arrest, I smiled back. Serena had taught me an important lesson. Family ties can strangle you. But she'd forgotten something crucial. I was always the quick learner in the family. The prison library smelled like old books and desperation. Angela sat across from me, spreading out photocopied documents across the scratched wooden table. Your sister's good, she said, pointing to a complex web of transactions. But not good enough. See these transfers? They're almost identical to the ones she used to frame you. I leaned forward, squinting at the numbers. These dates, these are from years ago. Exactly. Your sister's been playing this game long before she targeted you. The question is, why didn't she get caught? Because she had help, a new voice chimed in. We looked up to see a woman in her 30s with sharp features and intelligent eyes. I'm Selena, former corporate lawyer, currently serving time for, well, let's just say I know exactly how these schemes work. Angela nodded. Selena's been helping me piece this together. Your sister's got friends in high places, Lexi. People who look the other way when the numbers don't add up. My hands clenched into fists. So what you're saying is, even if I found proof, it wouldn't matter? Not necessarily, Selena said, sliding into the chair next to me. You just need to know where to look and who to trust. Speaking of which, have you been in touch with anyone from your old life? I thought of Braden, my former colleague who still wrote to me weekly. Maybe. Why? Because we're going to need outside help, Angela said. Someone who can access records we can't get in here. A guard walked past, and we quickly shuffled the papers into a random book. When he was gone, Selena leaned closer. There's something else you should know, she whispered. Your sister's been visiting another inmate here, Jayla Hernandez. My eyebrows shot up. What? Why? That's what we need to find out, Angela said. Jayla's in my work detail. I can introduce you. Later that day, I met Jayla in the laundry room. She was younger than I expected, with a quick smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. So you're the famous little sister, she said, folding sheets with practiced efficiency. Serena talks about you a lot. Does she now? I matched her movements, keeping my voice casual. Funny, I didn't know she had friends in here. Jayla snorted. Friends? Honey, your sister doesn't have friends. She has investments. And right now, I'm her favorite investment. What does that mean? It means, Jayla lowered her voice, that your sister's planning something big. Something that needs someone with my particular skills once I get out next month. My heart raced. What kind of skills? The kind that got me in here. Let's just say I know how to make money disappear. Jayla glanced around before continuing. Your sister's scared, Lexi. She's covering her tracks, preparing for something, and she's getting sloppy. That night, I couldn't sleep. Angela's words kept echoing in my head. Your sister's not as clever as she thinks she is. The next morning, during yard time, I found myself surrounded by my growing circle of allies. Angela, Selena, and Jayla had become my unlikely support system. I got a letter from my contact at the SEC, Selena said, keeping her voice low. They're starting to notice irregularities in your family's company financials. Your sister's latest moves have caught their attention. But why now? I wondered aloud. Why is she taking these risks? Because of you, Angela said simply. You're her weak spot, Lexi. As long as you're in here, there's a chance you might figure things out. She's trying to secure her position before you can expose her. Then we need to move faster, I said, determination settling in my gut. Jayla, what exactly did my sister ask you to do when you get out? Jayla smiled wickedly. She wants me to help her move some money offshore. Big money. The kind of transaction that leaves traces, no matter how careful you are. Perfect, Selena said. That's our way in. But we'll need your friend on the outside, Lexi, the one you mentioned. I thought of Braden, his loyal letters, his unwavering belief in my innocence. He'll help, but I need to know something first. Why are you all helping me? Angela's face hardened. Because your sister's type gives all of us a bad name. The ones who think they're above the law, who use and discard people like tissues. Sometimes karma needs a little push. Besides, Jayla added, watching rich people destroy each other is quality entertainment in here. I laughed despite myself, feeling stronger than I had in months. My sister might have put me in prison, but she'd accidentally given me something valuable. A team of women who knew exactly how to bring down someone like her. Okay, I said, pulling out a piece of paper. Let's make a plan. Jayla, tell me everything my sister asked you to do. Every detail matters. As my new friends gathered around, I realized something important. In trying to break me, Serena had actually made me stronger, and soon she'd learn exactly what that meant. Your boy Braden came through, Angela announced, sliding a torn envelope across the metal cafeteria table. These are copies of your sister's recent transactions. My hands trembled as I opened it, careful to keep the contents hidden from passing guards. Inside were printouts of financial records, each one a potential piece of evidence against Serena. Look at the dates, Selena pointed out, pretending to eat her tasteless meatloaf. 3 major transfers, all within days of your arrest. She's getting cocky, Jayla added, joining our table. Yesterday's visit was interesting. She's planning to move $50 million through shell companies next month. Wanted to make sure I remembered our arrangement when I get out. I stared at my untouched food. $50 million? That's more than double what she framed me for. Where's she getting that kind of money? From your family's company, a new voice whispered. We turned to see Maria, a quiet inmate who worked in the prison's administrative office. I overheard a phone call while cleaning. Your stepfather Ramon's business is in trouble. Big trouble. My stomach dropped. What kind of trouble? The kind that ends with bankruptcy if someone doesn't stop the bleeding. Maria glanced nervously at the guards. Your mother called the prison yesterday, asking to visit. She sounded desperate. Looks like Big Sis is taking down the whole family, Angela said grimly. Question is, does she care? Before I could respond, the lunch bell rang. As we filed out, Selena pulled me aside. Your mother's visit is scheduled for tomorrow. Are you ready? I hadn't seen Mom since the trial. Ready as I'll ever be. The next day, I sat across from her in the visitation room. She looked older, tired, her usually perfect makeup unable to hide the dark circles under her eyes. Lexi, she whispered, reaching for my hands across the table. I don't know what to do anymore. The company. Ramon's health. What's happening, Mom? Tell me everything. She wiped her eyes. Ramon had a minor heart attack last week. The stress. Serena's been making these decisions at work, taking out loans, moving money around. Nothing makes sense anymore. And you're just letting her? She's the only one left, Mom's voice cracked. With you in here, she said she could fix everything, but it's getting worse. Ramon doesn't trust her, but he's too sick to fight. I leaned forward. Mom, listen carefully. Serena's not fixing anything. She's stealing from the company, just like she framed me for stealing. No, Mom shook her head. She wouldn't. She would, and she is. I can prove it, but I need your help. Will you trust me? One last time? After Mom left, I met my crew in the prison chapel, the one place we could talk without arousing suspicion. Your mother's in, I told them. She'll get us Ramon's banking records. Good, Selena said. Because Jayla's release is in 2 weeks and we need everything in place before then. Jayla nodded. Serena's expecting me to help her with the transfers as soon as I'm out. Little does she know, I'll be helping someone else instead. Just be careful, Angela warned. Women like your sister, they don't take betrayal well. Trust me, I learned that lesson the hard way. I turned to her. You never told me your story. Angela's face darkened. Let's just say I used to work with someone like Serena. Trusted her, covered for her. When things went south, she made sure I took the fall. Sound familiar? Too familiar, I muttered. The difference is, Angela continued, you've got us, and we've got something better than money or connections. What's that? Nothing left to lose. She smiled grimly. Makes us dangerous. Later that night, I received another letter from Braden. Inside was a USB drive, somehow smuggled past security. Found something interesting, his letter read. Your sister's been meeting with some shady characters. Got photos. Also, remember that merger she announced? It's built on fake numbers. The whole thing's a house of cards. I showed the letter to Selena during our morning walk. This is it, she said excitedly. The merger's her weak point. If it falls apart, everything else comes crashing down. Including my family's company, I reminded her. Sometimes you have to break something completely to rebuild it right, she said softly. Question is, are you ready to be the one who breaks it? I watched the sunrise through the prison fence, thinking about Mom's tired face, Ramon's heart attack, and Serena's smug satisfaction. Yes, I said finally, but we do this smart. No one else gets hurt except Serena. Angela joined us, her face serious. That's not how revenge works, kid. There's always collateral damage. Then we minimize it, I insisted. Focus on the merger. That's her project, her reputation. When it falls apart, she'll have nowhere to hide. 2 weeks, Jayla reminded us, passing by. Make them count. I nodded, feeling the weight of the USB drive in my pocket. 2 weeks to save my family's company, clear my name, and make Serena face the consequences of her actions. The countdown had begun. Your sister's getting married, Mom announced during our next visit, her voice flat. To the CEO of the company she's merging with. The wedding's next month. I nearly choked on my water. What? His name's Marcus. They've apparently been dating in secret for months. Mom's hands twisted nervously in her lap. She says it's love, but Ramon thinks... It's about the merger, I finished. Of course it is. Everything's about business with Serena. Back in the common room, I shared the news with Angela and Selena. This changes everything, Selena said, her legal mind already working. Marriage means shared assets, shared liability. She's not just securing the merger, she's protecting herself. Or setting up her next victim, Angela added. Did some digging through my old contacts. This Marcus guy? His first wife died under suspicious circumstances. Insurance paid out big. My blood ran cold. You think Serena knows? Honey, I think that's exactly why she chose him. Angela leaned closer. Birds of a feather, right? A guard approached, and we quickly switched to discussing the latest prison book club selection. When he passed, Selena pulled out a newspaper. Look at this, she whispered, pointing to a business article. The merger announcement caused both companies' stocks to soar. Your sister and her fiancé just became paper millionaires. Paper millionaires with fake numbers, I reminded her. Braden's proof shows the merger's built on lies. Speaking of Braden, Angela said, he sent another message through my contact. The SEC's starting their audit next week. Serena doesn't know yet. I smiled. Perfect timing. Jayla gets out tomorrow. That night, we had our final meeting with Jayla in the laundry room. She'd memorized every detail of her role in our plan. Serena thinks I'm meeting her associate tomorrow night, Jayla said, folding her last prison uniform. Instead, I'm meeting with Braden and his SEC friend. Everything I know about her operation, every detail she shared during her visits, it all goes on record. Be careful, I warned. She's more dangerous than ever now. Jayla laughed. Please. I grew up in the Bronx. Your sister doesn't scare me. The next morning, we watched Jayla walk to freedom. Hours later, my mother visited again, this time with documents hidden in her Bible. Ramon's personal records, she whispered. Bank statements, loan applications, everything. Some of these signatures, they don't look right. I studied the papers, because Serena forged them, just like she forged mine. Mom's face crumpled. How did we not see it, all these years? Because she's family, I said softly. We see what we want to see. That afternoon, Selena received news through her legal channels. The SEC's moved up their audit. They're going in tomorrow. What? Why? Because your sister's fiancé just tried to move a massive amount of money offshore. They're spooked. Angela cursed. She's rushing the plan. Jayla must have spooked her. I paced our small meeting space. We need to warn Braden. If they're destroying evidence... Already done, Selena said. He's got copies of everything. Plus, your mother's documents prove the forgeries. It's all falling into place. But something felt wrong. I knew my sister. It's too easy. Serena always has a backup plan. Right on cue, Maria rushed in. Emergency call for you, Lexi. It's Ramon. He's had another heart attack. The world tilted. I ran to the phone room, my hands shaking as I picked up the receiver. Hello, little sister. Serena's voice was silk over steel. Shame about Ramon, isn't it? Stress is such a killer. What did you do? Me? Nothing. But it's amazing how quickly health can deteriorate when someone's worried about losing everything. She paused. Call off the SEC audit, Lexi, or next time, Ramon might not be so lucky. You're threatening our stepfather? Your own family? Family? She laughed bitterly. Was it family when you became Dad's favorite? When you got the education I deserved? When everyone praised perfect little Lexi while I had to claw my way up? So this is all about jealousy? This is about what's mine. Back off or Ramon pays the price. You have 1 hour to decide. The line went dead. I stood there, gripping the phone, until Angela found me. Bad news? She asked, taking in my face. Serena's threatening Ramon's life. She wants me to stop the audit. Angela's expression hardened. Then we hit her harder, fast and public before she can hurt anyone else. How? Your sister's wedding announcement just hit the society pages. Everyone's watching. What better time to expose her? I thought about Ramon in the hospital, Mom's tired face, all the lives Serena had ruined. Make the calls, I said. It ends now. As Angela left to set things in motion, I stared out the prison window. Tomorrow, either my sister's empire would crumble or my family would pay the ultimate price. The game had changed. Now it wasn't just about revenge, it was about survival. The prison TV room erupted in chaos as the morning news broke. There on screen, federal agents were escorting people out of my family's company building. Breaking news, major financial fraud uncovered at prominent merger. The reporter's voice competed with excited inmate chatter. That's your sister, someone shouted, pointing at Serena's photo flashing across the screen. She looked perfect as always, even while hurrying to her car, shielding her face from cameras. Angela squeezed my shoulder. Braden came through. The SEC raid happened at dawn. My hands were shaking. Any word about Ramon? Stable, Selena said, joining us. Your mom called. He's being moved to a better hospital. Apparently, Marcus's company insurance is still covering him, for now. The news anchor continued. Sources say the investigation was triggered by evidence provided by a recently released inmate. I smiled, thinking of Jayla. She'd played her part perfectly. In related news, questions arise about the suspicious death of Marcus Reynolds' first wife. The TV clicked off suddenly. We turned to see a guard standing there. Valdez, warden wants to see you. Now. The warden's office was cold and sterile. She studied me over her glasses. Your sister's lawyer called. Says you orchestrated this whole thing from inside. That's ridiculous, I said calmly. I'm just an inmate serving my time. With a lot of interesting friends. She glanced at a file. A former forensic accountant, a corporate lawyer, and now this whistleblower who just got released. Quite the coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. The warden almost smiled. Indeed. Well, unless they can prove you violated any prison regulations, there's not much they can do. But watch yourself, Valdez. Your sister's got powerful friends. Back in my cell, I found a letter from Braden waiting. It's worse than we thought, he wrote. Serena and Marcus were planning to empty both companies' pension funds after the merger. Thousands of people would have lost everything. But that's not all. Marcus's first wife? Police are reopening the case. Your sister's fingerprints are all over the insurance policy changes made weeks before the accident. Holy shit, Angela whispered, reading over my shoulder. Your sister's not just a fraudster, she's a murderer, I finished, feeling sick. Or at least an accomplice. Selena burst into the cell, breaking prison protocol. Turn on the radio, now! Through static, we heard Marcus's voice at a press conference. Completely shocked by these allegations, I assure you, I had no knowledge of my fiancé's actions. Our merger plans are indefinitely suspended. He's throwing her under the bus, Angela said. just like she did to you. My cell door slammed open. Another guard. Phone call, Valdez, your mother. Mom was crying when I picked up. She's gone, Lexi. Serena cleaned out all the accounts this morning. Everything. The company reserves, Ramon's medical fund, even my personal savings. She's disappeared. My knees buckled. What? The police say she probably left the country. They found evidence she's been planning this for months. The merger, the wedding. It was all a distraction. I gripped the phone tighter. Mom, I'm so sorry. I never meant... Don't. Her voice hardened. Don't apologize. You tried to warn us about her for years. We just didn't want to see it. After the call, I returned to find Angela and Selena in intense discussion with Maria. Your sister was spotted at a private airfield 3 hours ago, Maria said. My cousin works security there. She had 2 suitcases and a fake passport. She's running, Selena said. Classic exit strategy. She probably has accounts set up in countries without extradition. But she made a mistake, Angela added. A big one. Remember those photos Braden sent of her meeting shady characters? I nodded. One of them was an undercover FBI agent. They've been building a case against Marcus for months. Your sister just walked right into their investigation. My heart raced. So even if she escapes, she'll never be safe, Selena finished. The FBI doesn't give up on cases like this. That night, lying in my bunk, I received one final surprise, a letter from Serena herself. Dear perfect little sister, it read. Congratulations. You won this round, but remember, you're still in prison while I'm sitting on millions. Was your revenge worth it? Worth destroying our family? At least I only took your freedom. You took everything from all of us. Sweet dreams, sis. Hope those prison bars feel like victory. Angela found me crying in the bathroom. Hey, don't let her get to you. That letter's just proof we got to her. But she's right, I whispered. Look what I've done to our family. No, Angela said firmly. Look what she did. You just exposed the truth. The rebuilding part, that comes next. And you'll be there for it. How? I'm still in here. Angela smiled mysteriously. About that. Selena's been talking to some lawyers. With all this new evidence, plus Jayla's testimony, let's just say your appeal is looking pretty good. For the first time in days, I felt hope flutter in my chest. Serena might have escaped with the money, but she'd lost something far more valuable, her power over me. The truth was finally out, and soon I would be too. All rise, the bailiff called out. 3 months had passed since Serena's disappearance, and I stood in the same courtroom where I'd been convicted, now facing my appeal hearing. My new lawyer, recommended by Selena, presented the mountain of evidence we'd gathered. Bank records, forged documents, Jayla's testimony, the FBI investigation findings. It all painted a clear picture of Serena's elaborate scheme. Your Honor, he concluded, my client was not only innocent, but a victim of a sophisticated frame job orchestrated by her sister, who is now a federal fugitive. The judge peered at me over her glasses. Ms. Valdez, this court owes you an apology. In light of the overwhelming evidence, your conviction is overturned. You are to be released immediately. The words didn't feel real until I walked out of prison that afternoon, wearing clothes Mom had brought. Angela, Selena, and Braden waited outside. First stop, Angela announced, hugging me. Real coffee. At the cafe, Braden updated me on the investigation. Interpol's tracked Serena to Dubai, but she's staying just ahead of them. The FBI's frozen most of her accounts, though. How much did she get away with? I asked. About 12 million, he said grimly. But the feds recovered almost 30 million in hidden accounts. It's being returned to the company and the pension funds. Speaking of the company, Selena added, Ramon called. He's back at work part-time, rebuilding what's left. The publicity actually brought in new investors who admire his resilience. I stirred my latte, real coffee finally, and asked the question that had been haunting me. Any leads on Marcus's first wife's death? Braden leaned forward. That's the biggest breakthrough. They found emails between Serena and Marcus from 2 years ago, long before the merger plans. They were plotting everything, the marriage, the merger, the theft. The wife's death was part of their test run. My stomach churned. So they're both going down for murder? If they catch them, Marcus disappeared the day after Serena, but he wasn't as careful. The FBI's closing in. Later that day, I visited our family home for the first time since my arrest. Mom had redecorated, removing all traces of Serena. Only one photo remained, our father's wedding picture, taken before he died. I keep it to remember, Mom said, following my gaze, how happy we were once, before Serena changed. Was she always like this? I asked. Did we miss the signs? Mom sank into her favorite chair. She was different after your father died, angry that he left everything in trust for your education. She thought, as the oldest, she deserved more. That doesn't justify what she did. No, Mom agreed, but understanding her darkness might help us avoid it in others. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. My heart stopped when I read it. Enjoying freedom, sis. Don't get too comfortable. You took my life, I'll take yours. Watch your back. S. I showed Mom the message. She immediately called the FBI agent handling our case. They've traced it to Singapore, she told me after hanging up. She's running out of places to hide. That evening, I met Jayla for dinner. She'd started a legitimate financial consulting business, helping ex-cons rebuild their lives. Your sister contacted me, she said, sliding her phone across the table. Offered me $2 million to help her move money again. I recorded the whole conversation for the feds. You're not scared of her? Jayla laughed. Girl, I grew up with 5 brothers in the projects. Your sister's just a rich kid playing gangster. Besides, she gestured around the restaurant, I'm legit now, thanks to you. Got a real chance to help people. My phone buzzed again, another unknown number, but this time it was different. It's Marcus. I want to make a deal. Serena's planning something big, something bad. Meet me? I showed it to Jayla, who immediately texted Angela and Selena. It's a trap, Angela replied instantly. He's desperate, cornered, don't trust him. But Selena had another view. This could be our chance to end it. Let me contact my FBI friends. We can set up a sting. I stared at the message, thinking about Serena's threat. Maybe it was time to stop reacting and start acting. Set it up, I texted back to Selena, but on my terms. Jayla squeezed my hand. You sure about this? You just got your freedom back. I thought about Mom's tired face, Ramon's recovery, all the people Serena and Marcus had hurt. Some things are worth risking freedom for. Besides, I managed to smile, I learned from the best in prison. That night, as I lay in my own bed for the first time in over a year, I received one final message, this one from Angela. Remember what I taught you. Sometimes you have to fight fire with fire, but don't let the flames consume you. We've got your back. I closed my eyes, thinking about tomorrow's trap. Serena thought she could threaten me. She'd forgotten what she taught me herself. Sometimes the prey becomes the predator. Game on, big sister. Game on. The hotel lobby buzzed with quiet activity as I sat waiting, my coffee untouched. FBI agents posed as guests and staff, scattered throughout the space. Braden sat at the bar, pretending to work on his laptop. Target approaching, a voice murmured through my hidden earpiece. East entrance. Marcus walked in, looking nothing like his corporate photos. His designer suit was wrinkled, his face unshaven. Fear had aged him 10 years. Lexi, he said, sliding into the chair across from me. Thank you for meeting me. Where is she? He glanced nervously around. Not here, but close. She's not the same person anymore. She's desperate. Aren't you both? You don't understand. His hands shook as he leaned forward. She's planning to take everything. The remaining company assets, the recovered funds, all of it. She has backdoor access to the systems. Why are you telling me this? Because she's going to frame you again. One last job to destroy you completely. He pulled out his phone. Look at these emails. She's... Federal agents. The lobby erupted in chaos as FBI teams moved in. But Marcus was faster. He bolted, knocking over our table. He's running! I shouted into my earpiece, chasing after him. East stairwell. I followed him up 3 flights before he burst onto the roof. He ran to the edge, looking down. It's over, Marcus, I called out. We know about your wife, about Singapore. He turned, wild-eyed. You think you know anything? Your sister? She makes me look amateur. Right now, she's probably already... His phone rang. He answered on speaker, hands trembling. Hello, darling. Serena's voice cold as ice. I see you've been talking to my sister. Tsk, tsk. Serena, please, he begged. We can still... Oh, Marcus, you never learned. Never trust anyone, especially not me. His phone pinged with a notification. His face went white. What did you do? Transferred everything. All our accounts, all our backup plans. Did you really think I'd share? She laughed. Goodbye, darling. Enjoy prison. The line went dead. Marcus stared at his phone in disbelief as FBI agents burst onto the roof. Marcus Reynolds, you're under arrest. As they led him away, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Your turn, sis. Check the business news in 3, 2, 1. My phone exploded with notifications. Breaking news alerts, messages from Mom, Braden, everyone. She's done it, Braden said, running up to the roof. Serena just emptied every account. The company's reserves, the recovered funds, everything. It's all gone. I felt the world spin. How? Those accounts were frozen. She had help on the inside, someone at the bank. He stopped as my phone rang again. Hi, Mom, I answered, dreading her words. Ramon's had another heart attack, she sobbed. The stress, when he saw the accounts. Lexi, he's in critical condition. I slid down the wall, legs giving out. Serena had won. Again. Back at the FBI office, agents scrambled to trace the transfers. The money's bouncing between accounts faster than we can track it, one agent explained. Your sister's got quite a network. Wait, Jayla said, studying the transaction patterns. I know these routes. They're the same ones she wanted me to use, which means... She grabbed a laptop, fingers flying over the keyboard. There! The money has to pass through this checkpoint in Hong Kong. We have maybe 3 hours before it clears. Can we stop it? I asked. Better. Selena smiled, hanging up her phone. My contacts in Hong Kong banking. They can redirect the funds. All of them. To where? Back to the victims, Angela said, walking in. Every penny she stole returned to the people she hurt. Perfectly legal, completely untraceable. But we need authorization from a company executive, Selena added. I pulled out my phone, calling Mom. Is Ramon conscious? We need his signature right now. 20 minutes later, Mom FaceTimed from Ramon's hospital room. His hand shook as he signed the digital authorization. Do it, he whispered. We watched the screens as billions in transactions reversed course. Company accounts refilled. Pension funds restored. Everything Serena tried to steal, returned. My phone buzzed one last time. Serena. You bitch, she hissed. You have no idea what you've done. No, Serena, you did this, all of it, and now you've got nothing. I still have 12 million they'll never find. Keep it, I said. Consider it the price of never coming back. Because if you do, everything we found about Marcus's wife goes public. Every email, every plan, every detail. Silence. You'd blackmail your own sister? I learned from the best. After hanging up, I looked around at my unlikely team. Angela, Selena, Jayla, Braden. They'd helped me turn victim into victory. Ramon stabilized, Mom texted. Doctor says he'll recover. I closed my eyes, exhausted, but relieved. We'd won. Not through revenge, but through justice. Come on, Angela said, helping me up. Let's go see your stepdad. Family's waiting. Family. Not the one Serena destroyed, but the one we'd built from the ashes. That was worth more than all the millions in the world. The autumn breeze rustled through the prison yard as I walked through the familiar gates, this time as a visitor. Angela waited in the meeting room, her face lighting up when she saw me. Look who's all corporate now, she teased, eyeing my business suit. The board meeting ran late, I explained, sitting down. We're finalizing the merger with that tech company I told you about. The legitimate kind of merger this time, complete with actual profits and everything, I smiled. Ramon's retiring next month. They voted me in as CEO. Angela leaned back, pride evident in her expression. From inmate to chief executive, you've come a long way, kid. Thanks to you, all of you. I pulled out some papers. Speaking of which, I have news. The prison reform initiative we started, it passed. Full funding for education and job training programs in women's prisons across the state. Selena's legal work paid off, huh? She's unstoppable. The foundation's already helped 30 former inmates start their own businesses. I paused. Including you soon. Your parole hearings next week. Got my speech ready and everything. Angela's eyes misted slightly. Never thought I'd get another chance. You gave me mine. Time to return the favor. The guard called time, but before I left, Angela grabbed my hand. Hey, any word from... Serena? Nothing since Dubai. FBI thinks she's in Southeast Asia now. Doesn't matter. She can't touch us anymore. Leaving the prison, I drove to the hospital where Jayla ran her weekly financial literacy workshop for recovering addicts. Ladies, she announced as I walked in, meet my friend Lexi, living proof that your past doesn't define your future. After the session, we grabbed coffee in the cafeteria. How's the new program going? I asked. Amazing. 10 of my students already opened their first legitimate bank accounts, she grinned. No more cash under mattresses. Mom would love to hear that. She's always saying... My phone buzzed. Unknown number. My heart stopped until I read the message. Marcus took a plea deal. Full confession about everything, including Karen's death. Thought you should know. FBI agent Torres. I showed Jayla the text. Finally, justice for his first wife. And prison for life, she added. Bet your sister's loving that news. If she's heard it, she's gone dark since we took back the money. Good riddance. Jayla's face turned serious. You know she might try again someday. Let her try. We're stronger now. That evening, I visited Mom and Ramon at home. The house smelled of Mom's famous paella as Ramon showed me his retirement plans. Converting the garage into a workshop, he explained excitedly. Going to teach woodworking to troubled kids. From corporate shark to mentor, I teased. Who'd have thought? People change, Mom said, joining us. Sometimes for worse, like... She trailed off, still unable to say Serena's name. And sometimes for better, I finished, hugging her. The company's stronger than ever. Your grandkids' college funds are safe. I don't have any grandkids, she pointed out. Yet, I smiled. Brayden and I are talking about it. The doorbell rang. Selena burst in, waving papers. Just got word from my Hong Kong contact. Serena tried to access one of her old accounts. They froze it immediately. How much? Ramon asked. 3 million. She's running out of options. Mom's hands trembled as she served dinner. Will it ever really be over? It already is, I said firmly. She's just a shadow now. We've built something stronger than her hatred. After dinner, I drove to the small park where this all began, where I used to play with Serena as kids. Brayden waited on our usual bench. Rough day? He asked, pulling me close. Good day, actually. Angela's getting out soon. The foundation's growing. The company's thriving. I looked up at the stars. We won. But I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, for Serena to appear and destroy everything again. Brayden turned to face me. That's her last victory, making you fear happiness. Don't let her have it. My phone chimed. A message from Angela. Just heard from the parole board. I'm out next week. First stop, helping Jayla with her next workshop. Second stop, that accounting job you offered. Ready to be your newest employee, boss. I smiled, showing Brayden the message. This was my real legacy. Not revenge, but reconstruction. Building something meaningful from the wreckage Serena left behind. You know what? I said, standing up. Let's go plan that future we talked about. The one with kids and dreams and no looking back. No looking back, Brayden agreed. Walking hand in hand through the park, I realized something. Serena had tried to write my story. Poor little sister, forever in her shadow. But she forgot the most important rule. Everyone gets to write their own ending. And mine was just beginning.